I'm taking a bit of time here this morning just to check some things out before the crazy weather comes. Oh, look at that. We got canola coming through. I mean, there's weeds too, but we do have canola out of the ground. I'm gonna say that's a good thing. I'm gonna hope that that's a good thing. Let's just hope that just hope like crazy that, yeah, there's lots of canola coming. Well, again, more in the headlands, but we are there. So hopefully the ground temperature is going to be such that we're going to be okay, but we're going to be getting close to the frost here again, and canola plants don't like that, so we'll see what transpires here in the next few days. So today's job is check just a couple of the early fields and set up rain gauges. Haven't done that yet, so just got to do something, a little bit of running around here this morning and getting that done. So but our first field of canola is definitely popping out of the ground. Okay, I'm driving out to what we call the Gibson or Dreger farm, which is out east, and the plan was to put a rain gauge up here, but as I'm driving here, I'm starting to actually see water in the fields here. So I'm gonna guess I missed the first shower already because it looks a little wetter around here. So take a look at it and I'll see where we're at, but it's an interesting thought. Rain gauge check. Yes, definitely have had moisture here. If I dig down, I am going to say we have had enough moisture here to meet moisture. If I can get to the bean fields, that would be great. But so this is one of our oats fields. I think this was actually the last one we seeded, and I don't know if it's showing up in the camera or not, but oats is coming up real nice. And with this moisture, if perchance we were to get fortunate enough to get some temperatures again, it'll be awesome. But whatever, we're still doing good. Very thankful for where we're at. I just want to check and see whether our beans up here met moisture. Or are now in moisture, let me rephrase. So let's see if I can even get down that road. That might be dicey. Okay, so I could not get down the dirt road. The truck's getting to be a bit of a mess. It is definitely wet around here. So, but this here is the no-till field, we'll call it, where we seeded beans straight into stubble. And this is the one that I've been worried about. I don't know if that's the right terminology or whatever, but and I went a little bit deeper because of it. Right now the straw is making it so my feet aren't tripling in size. But what I would like to see is, if perchance I can find a row, which I will, hit moisture, meet moisture. That's going to be the catch. interesting. You can't even see where I went here. Oh, well, that wasn't hard. So we're finding beans right quick. And beans has sprouts. Well, that's exciting. We are good. So these beans, for lack of better words, that rain couldn't have been more timely. That is absolutely perfect. So we're gonna say moisture met moisture here. What does that mean? What I mean by moisture means moisture. With the wind and the heat that we've had, just drying conditions, the top inch and a half of dirt has been fairly dry, and we kept chasing moisture a little bit. Well, I'm gonna say we didn't actually do it, but you trying to get to moisture, you would had to keep chasing it. Down below, there's still a fair bit of moisture. However, it's always nice to get moisture to meet top to that second layer, because then your germination should, there's no reason for the germination to not be good. So on this 480 acres, things are good. So this field was one of our last fields of beans done. I'm not sure that I'm going to regret doing what I'm doing, but I do want to put a rain gauge here. Reason I want to put one here, this is probably our northernmost field. So we'll plunk a gauge here, and that kind of also tells us where we're at for rainfall on the northern spectrum. So yeah, maybe that's, there we go. Okay, just for kicks and giggles. So here we got rain, so you can see there's about, I don't know, half an inch of moisture, and then we hit dry dirt again. So I don't know if you can see that line, but there up is moisture, there down is not. So this one we're still going to need a bit more for that moisture to moisture stage, but regardless, yeah, definitely still good dry dirt. So these beans have not been affected yet by this moisture at all. Can't even find the beans. Leave well enough alone. Okay, on that note, we're gonna just carry on. Okay, today is a couple days after our significant rainfall, and water has gone down substantially. But we're going to do some, my job today is to run around with the quad and spade, just in case there's some things that need just a couple feet here and there or whatever, just to drain a bit more water. So, but on my way I just figured I'd stop by a couple fields and just see. As you can see, there's no dirt blowing today, so that's a good thing. And corn, this is where I checked it a couple days back. It hasn't grown a whole lot, which not really a surprise. It's been cold. But we do have corn. We were a little worried at one point that we might get frost and that might have ill effects, but it seems like we have escaped that problem. So we're coming up to our eastmost land here, and this is a field that on Saturday, we're gonna say probably 25% of it was underwater. So just looking at the height of the water in the ditch, that kind of thing, I'm gonna guess close to 2 feet down is what that water's gone. So that looks like a ditch that's a prime example of one that if I zip down, we may be able to drain a bit more water off of it. So I'm gonna just check things out here a little bit more, and then I am going to scoot in there with the quad and see if I can get a bit more draining. But it has come down dramatically here. There is definitely still enough water. The bottom of the ditches is one thing, but I can see a quarter mile out there's a hole. It's got a bit of water. I don't know if you can see it. There's areas where the straw is backed up, and that's where the water was. So this area here we're traveling right to that ditch was all underwater a couple days ago. So has the water gone down? Absolutely, it's gone down, which it always does. It's just how quickly will it go down and how much damage will there be? That is always the Hail Mary question that we just never know the answer to. So culverts are still running. They have slowed down though significantly. So this field looks much better than it did on Saturday. So, and that's why sometimes it's just best to stay away for a little while. Take much, but we got water flowing here pretty good now. Straw is going to be a bit of a detriment, I'm thinking. There we go. So yeah, I had to make tracks here for about 40 feet. Not that there's lots of water, but if I can get that down to come down at all, that'll be a bonus. So that's one little ditch. Set of tracks cut. Off to the next one. tracks we make are hugely successful, but we do have water flowing here now, and hopefully it picks up and keeps draining, because that's whatever. We'll see if we can get that water out of there, but it is draining. Every little bit will help.